Alright, here is the video that goes along with the recipe at chadwickandamy.com for the green smoothie, otherwise known as the what is that you're drinking that we often get from people that we work with when they see us walking in with our fancy cups and this green concoction that looks a lot more like boogers than it does anything that you would want to drink. So the first few items I'm going to show you are items that we use in the base of the smoothie. And what I mean by base, these are things that we do not prepare ahead of time, but that we just make sure that we have on hand, because these are the first things that go in the blender every morning for this green smoothie. In this bag here we have a mix of spinach, kale, and chard. I'm not exactly sure what the chard is going to do. This is the first time that we're using it. Up to this point we have used spinach and romaine lettuce, but we've heard that kale is a better source of protein. So for the remainder of the smoothies that we try, at least for this week, we're going to throw in this mix of this baby kale mix. And we're still getting our spinach, we're still getting the kale that we need, and as you can see, it's a good source of vitamin A, vitamin K, and the folate. But the kale also produces a good amount of protein. Over here, as far as the fluids go, we have the almond milk that we use. Up to this point, before we found the almond milk, we were using just water. But almond milk is also a good source of protein. So when you're getting this much vegetables and fruits in your diet in the morning, these sources of protein are pretty important to you. We also have lemon juice that we throw in about a tablespoon or two just for some flavor, and we throw that in the morning. And then the other items that we have on hand, again, these are items that we do not prepare ahead of time. We have some red pepper, some ground cinnamon, and some ground turmeric. And these just go in, they add a little bit of flavor. The recipe says just put a pinch in, but whatever your tastes are, go ahead and play with that a little bit. You might want a little bit more spice. You might want a little bit more cinnamon in your mix. But these are the items that we have on hand. We don't prepare anything ahead of time other than to make sure that they are in the fridge and in the cabinet. Now, the next items that I'm going to show you are the items that typically on Sunday we go ahead and spend a half an hour just getting ready, so that we have 5 bags available to us of frozen items. These are all the items that we do put together ahead of time. We dice them up, put them in a little Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer in the garage, so in the morning when I go ahead to make these smoothies, I can just grab one of these and everything's prepped ahead of time. On this plate here, what you'll see, there's a ginger root available. That's about how much ginger I put in. You're looking at about a quarter width and a quarter diameter. You're going to have to go ahead and peel that skin off, make sure it's good, and that just gets thrown in the blender when everything's ready. Also next to it you see a cucumber. That's about a quarter of a cucumber that you would buy at the store. You go ahead and peel that, have that ready to throw in the freezer bag. Next to it we have an avocado. We go ahead and peel that, pull out that seed that's in the middle, and throw that in the bag. And then next to it here you see 3 fruits. What we typically do here is we put the fruits together. We buy them as they're on sale. We have thrown kiwi into this mix too. And as far as these types of fruits go, we try to have at least 2 of them in the bag. What you see here is a peach, an apple, and a pear. Like I said, we've thrown kiwi into the mix. We try to have 2 of those 4 available. We shop the sales because we're cheap, and as our kids say, we are lame. We try to have just at least 2 of those fruits in the mix, ready to go, be frozen. Over here we also have about a half a cup of celery. It doesn't have to be cut up like this. But as long as you have about half a cup of celery ready to go, throw that in the bag, and then we buy our bananas from the local grocery store on sale. They put like the bananas that are just beyond ripe in a nice package. We can get about 5 or 6 of them for $1.40, and we just throw that in the freezer, have it ready to go. And this is the part of the recipe that we have prepared ahead of time. We throw it in a nice Ziploc bag, put them in the freezer, have 5 of them ready to go for a week. So that way, once our base is prepared in the morning in the blender, which I'll show you in the morning when we make them, all we have to do is dump this Ziploc bag of goodness into the base, and we're ready to go. So I'll show you what that looks like in the morning. Okay, good morning. We've got to leave for work in about 10 minutes, so we've got everything again laid out. We've got our kale mix, almond milk, lemon juice ready to go in the foundation, the base of the smoothie. And then here we have the fruits and whatnot of everything that we did cut up last night that you saw laying on the table. And our banana still needs to be cut up just a little bit. So let's just jump right in. Typically, we put a good amount of greens in. We want to get about 2/3 of the way up the blender. Right there is pretty good. And we'll set that aside. We have our almond milk already measured out. A 1 cup capacity on that. And we'll just kind of put that in. Throw that in the sink. And we just use lemon juice. The recipe actually originally had us squeezing lemons in it, but just for convenience sake, we just go ahead and quick splash of that in there. And then we go ahead, put the top on the blender, turn it on, and go for Okay, the base is finished there. It's looking pretty green, pretty gross, if this is something that's new to you. So I've already taken care of all the supplies while it was blending, and what we have left here is just our frozen bag of fruits and a couple of veggies, and then also the banana and the seasoning. So we're just going to go ahead and dump that fruit in to there. Try not to splash everybody and everything. And again, this is really convenient. We'll just have it ready and in the bag before we go to bed. And then I just, after I get up, I pull the frozen stuff out of the freezer, let it start softening up just a bit, and helps get it blended up. Also, it makes the consistency a little smooth. And Amy's going to go ahead and cut up that banana really quick. Bananas definitely add a little bit of sweetness to it, and which we like to have. You're going to see that you have a few different seasonings here that are going to go in here last. You got the turmeric, the red pepper, and the cinnamon. Go ahead and Google the health benefits of all of those, but they definitely, once this thing hits your tongue, you can feel the flavors come to life. So the banana's ready to go in, and rinse our hands off a little bit, and then we're going to just put a dash of each of the seasonings in, and that's going to give it a little bit of flavor. Quite a bit of cinnamon today. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And here we have coming in the red pepper, just a little bit of that. Yeah, that typically, let's go a little bit more. That's good. I think the first couple times I made it got a little crazy with the red pepper. And here's the turmeric. And yeah, I like that turmeric a lot, and that's good. And that's everything that is in the smoothie. We're going to put the top back on. Going to give it a high blend. Have to turn the power back on there, and then a high. Okay, everything's good and blended up. We have our fancy cups ready to go. And this consistency is looking pretty thick. I think because everything was nice and cold out of the freezer. And doesn't that just look fantastic? So there's one. Here comes the next. Throw that in. It's going to stay nice and cold. Like I said, we're on our way out the door to work. And so it'll be nice to have this stay cold for a while. Don't have to worry about it getting too warm. It still tastes good when it warms up a little bit, but something about having that nice cold smoothie does make it a little bit easier on the palate. The blender then rinses out really easily. There's no oils or anything in here, so that it doesn't take much for your cleanup. And so there they are, and we're ready to head out the door and begin our day. So hope it helped. Hope you like it. Visit chadwickandamy.com, find the In the Kitchen tab, and you can find the recipe right there if you want it in paper form. All right.